Welcome back to another quick episode of Spaceman 2.0. Here we're going to point out that this has been documented in the past, this migrant invasion, and what they plan to do is make a mixed race of everyone else but the royal elites that are of a specific bloodline and think they're not of a specific bloodline. That's why it's illegal for them to get actually an ancestral um, DNA test, because they will find out they're of a Mongoloid Turkish race that goes back to Genghis Khan and his Huns and hoarding their hordes of rape, ravage, and pillage doctrine. So just take a listen to this. Mr. Kalergi was envisioning this migrant invasion to create the beige race, where everyone but them will be beige, and they will be white. So let's just take a look.
Founded the Pan-European movement, the ground of what we now refer to
Kalergi.
as the European Union. His ideas were the guiding principles behind the founding of the European Union. Very few people know that Kalergi explicitly designed the genocide of the Europeans through flooding Europe with migrants. His goal was to create Europe without ethnic Europeans. Just like the Jewish Bolshevik Revolution, his movement was also financially backed by the Zionist Jewish capitalist bankers such as Rothschild, Baruch, and Warburg. The plan is no more than a supremacist strategy to outnumber and genocide the low birth rate, passive, ethnomasochistic, self-loathing Europeans out of existence. Kalergi's goal was to destroy distinct cultures and genetic uniqueness and replace them with automized, rootless individuals. European immigration would be the first step in creating a future world government. From his book Praktischer Idealismus, Practical Idealism, came the concept now commonly called the Coudenhove-Kalergi Plan. 2 points can summarize this plan. Europeans must mix with Arabs, Africans, and Asians into a mess which Kalergi describes as a Eurasian Negro race. The only exception for the planetary race biological experiment are, of course, the Jews, as Kalergi considers to be Europe's intellectual upper class. Taking from his book Practical Idealism, Kalergi states, "Man will in future be of mixed race. Today's races and classes will gradually disappear as a result of the elimination of space, time, and prejudice. The future of Eurasian Negro race will remind you of ancient Egyptians and replace the diversity of races and the diversity of individuals. Instead of destroying European Jewry in Europe against her will, refined and educated these people, and through this artificial process pushed them into their future role as the leading nation. Bolshevism constitutes a decisive step towards this purpose, where a small group of communist spiritual aristocrats govern the country. The general staff of both are recruited from Europe's spiritual leader race, the Jews. These crimes committed by the European Union against the European peoples are directly in violation of the 1948 UN Genocide Convention, Article 2. Kalergi suggested Beethoven's hymn as the European Union's national anthem, and he was very active with the design of the EU logo, which contains 12 stars, which symbolize the 12 tribes of Israel. The logo was finalized by the Jew Paul M.G. Levy. The European Union Parliament building in Strasbourg was modeled after the Tower of Babel, Hebrew name for Babylon. The building symbolized anti-Christianism, dependence on power, the destruction of global human diversity, and a gradual introduction of tyranny. In the Greek myth, Europa was a beautiful Phoenician princess. Europa caught the eye of Zeus, who promptly turned himself into a rather comely and attractive white bull adorned with flowers and petals. An entranced Europa climbed aboard the bull, only for it to whisk her way across the sea. Zeus, in the guise of the bull, took her all the way to Crete, where he raped Europa. Europa then went on to give birth to King Minos of Crete. This is the EU headquarters in Brussels. This is the sculpture outside of the European Parliament in Strasbourg, literally called the Abduction of Europe. The Greek euro coin, Time magazine cover. So the most obvious question we now should ask ourselves is the following. Why is the European Union using the rape of Europa from Greek myth as its primary symbol?
So, having said that, this is a great message to you all that the Khazarian barbarians are behind it, the 13th tribe taking it on and controlling all from within, pretending to be, as they are, wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay, so Revelation 2:9 and 3:9 will say it all. But we must wake up and realize there's a communist takeover. Make friends with your neighbors and maybe even some of the new migrants to realize the humanness that's actually in us all, that we are here to help each other and not be caught up in the war that they want to create for us. And then they come in and take over everything. Buy up the property for pennies as they destroyed Hawaii and with any burnt down properties across Canada or anywhere else around the world. The Rothschilds know when there's blood in the streets, buy, buy, buy. Because Sir Amschel Rothschild said, give me control of a nation's money and I care not who makes its laws. So having said that, now you know why there's 12 stars around the new European flag and what it represents. But the 13th tribe is the secret one, the hidden hand, the ancient Khazarian barbarians that kept the way of their overlords, the Mongolian hordes that rape, ravage, pillage, and plunder all in the name of their god, because they are the serpent race. They are made up of the serpent DNA. And that's why they want to mix their DNA with ours through genetically modifying everything on the planet through certain surreptitious means. So, having said that, may you wake up and do your own research, people. This is Spaceman 2.0. And watch out, because the show is only going to get bigger. So get your food, clothing, warmth, shelter, something. Protect yourself to some degree, at least with your awareness, to be protected by your mind is the first thing to protect. So protect your mind with the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And out.